They posted a video to 3 million people, laughing and calling me a basement-dwelling parasite the day they kicked me out of the house. But they forgot one tiny, crucial detail. I was the one paying the mortgage. Welcome to revenge theory. If you've ever been the black sheep of your family, the one who does everything right but is still treated like you're invisible, then grab a seat. This is for you. My name is Maya. For my entire life, my older sister, Chloe, was the golden child. She was the cheerleader, the prom queen, the one who married the finance bro. I was the quiet one, the one who stayed in my room coding, building websites, and eventually running my own software company. By the time it was 2023, my business had quietly exploded. I was making more in a month than my parents made in a year. But I didn't flash it. I lived quietly. What my family didn't know was that 3 years ago, my dad's business went completely bankrupt. The bank was literally days away from foreclosing on our childhood home. My dad was a proud, stubborn man who would rather die than admit he failed. So, to save his pride, I stepped in. I created an anonymous LLC, bought the house outright from the bank, and let my dad believe his lawyers had negotiated a miracle deal that let him live there rent-free. I was secretly my family's landlord. I paid the property taxes. I paid the electricity. I paid the water, all while living in the basement apartment working on my laptop. And how did they treat me? Like a joke. To them, I was just Maya, the unemployed freelancer playing on her laptop. The breaking point came in early 2026. Chloe got married to her husband, Brad, and they wanted to start a family. But the housing market was brutal, and they couldn't afford a place. So my dad, in all his infinite generosity, sat me down at the kitchen table one Sunday. "Maya," he said, not even looking me in the eye, "Chloe and Brad need a real start. It's time you grow up and get a real job. We're giving the house to Chloe. You have 30 days to pack up your basement and leave." I just stared at him. "You're giving my sister this house?" "It's my house, Maya," he snapped, "and you've been freeloading down there long enough. Chloe is actually doing something with her life." I could have told him the truth right then. I could have pulled out the deed and destroyed his reality. But you know what I've learned about toxic people? When you fight them with logic, they just play the victim. If I told them the truth, they would have guilt-tripped me into letting Chloe stay anyway, calling me selfish for having money while she struggled. So, I did the most powerful thing a person can do. I stayed completely silent. I nodded, stood up, and started packing. 30 days later, moving day arrived. I had hired a luxury moving company to take my things to a high-rise penthouse I had just leased downtown. But before the movers arrived, Chloe came downstairs holding her phone. She was practically vibrating with excitement. She started recording a video. "Hey guys," she said to her followers, panning the camera to me holding a cardboard box, "it's officially cleansing day. We are finally kicking out the family parasite. 30 years old, still living in the basement, playing on her little laptop. Time to join the real world, freeloader." She laughed, my parents laughed from the top of the stairs, and she hit post. That video went viral on TikTok and Instagram. 3 million views in 2 days. The comments were brutal. "Imagine being 30 and leeching off your parents. Kick her to the curb." Even my ex-boyfriend, Jake, the guy who dumped me because I didn't have ambition, commented, "Good for you guys, she was always dead weight." It stung, I won't lie. Reading thousands of strangers agreeing that I was a worthless loser made my chest tight. But I didn't cry. I didn't reply. I just got into the back of my town car, blocked all their numbers, and drove away. Here's a lesson for anyone listening. Silence is not weakness. Silence is a predator waiting in the tall grass. When you remove yourself from a toxic environment, you don't need to burn the bridge. You just stop paying the toll and watch it collapse on its own. The first thing I did when I got to my penthouse was open my laptop. I logged into my banking portal. I canceled the automated payments for the property taxes. I canceled the auto pay for the water, the electricity, the gas, and the internet at the old house. Then, I emailed my real estate lawyer. I told him the LLC was officially terminating the informal tenancy of the current occupants. I instructed him to send a formal 60-day notice of eviction, followed by a property sale listing. For a month, I lived in absolute peace. I scaled my business, I traveled, I woke up looking at the city skyline, drinking my coffee, finally breathing clean air. I didn't check my family's social media. I didn't need to. I knew exactly what was coming. 6 weeks later, the illusion shattered. It started with the power getting shut off. Chloe threw an absolute fit, blaming my dad for forgetting the bill. My dad, confused, called the electric company, only to be told the account, registered under an LLC he didn't recognize, had been closed. A week after that, the property tax office sent a delinquency notice. And then the fatal blow, the certified letter from my lawyer. I wasn't there to see it, but my lawyer told me about the phone call he received from my dad. My dad was screaming, threatening to sue, saying he owned the house. The lawyer calmly explained that the house was legally purchased by Apex Holdings LLC 3 years prior after his bankruptcy, and the LLC was now liquidating the asset. "Who owns the LLC?" my dad demanded. "A Miss Maya, your daughter. She has been your landlord and the sole financial provider for the property for the last 36 months. Since she has vacated the premises, she no longer wishes to maintain it." The fallout was nuclear. My phone started blowing up. The numbers I had blocked started leaving voicemails from different phones. First, it was anger. How could you do this to us? Then it was panic. Please, Maya, Chloe is pregnant. You can't kick her out. Then the ultimate manipulation. We are family. Family doesn't do this. Oh, the irony. Family doesn't do this, but family does humiliate you in front of 3 million people. Family does call you a parasite while living under a roof you paid for. I finally decided to respond, but I didn't do it in private. Chloe had left that viral video up on her page. It was still getting comments. So, from my verified blue checkmarked business account, the one with a link to the Forbes 30 Under 30 article I had just been featured in, I left a single comment on her video. "I hope you enjoyed the basement, Chloe. Just a reminder that the eviction notice from my lawyer expires in 14 days. Since I've been paying the mortgage, electricity, and water for the last 3 years to keep you and Dad off the streets, I think it's time you join the real world. Good luck with the move." The internet is a wild place. The same people who dragged me suddenly turned into FBI agents. They found my business. They found the public property records. Within hours, the narrative flipped entirely. Chloe's comment section became an absolute war zone. Her followers realized she wasn't a boss girl kicking out a freeloader. She was an entitled brat stealing credit from the sister who secretly saved her family from poverty. Brands that sponsored Chloe started dropping her. She was forced to delete the video and eventually her entire account. Jake, my ex, who had commented about me being dead weight, suddenly sent me a LinkedIn message apologizing, saying he always knew I was destined for greatness, and asking if we could get coffee. I took a screenshot of his message, sent it to his current girlfriend, and blocked him. My family had to move out. The house was sold, and the money went straight into my company's expansion fund. Dad had to rent a small apartment, and Chloe and her husband had to move into a tiny, cramped studio across town. Did I feel guilty? Not for a single second. People think revenge has to be loud. They think it has to be destructive, angry, or vindictive. It doesn't. True revenge is simply removing your protection from the people who took it for granted. It's allowing the natural consequences of their own actions to hit them square in the face. You see, society tells us we have to forgive family no matter what, that blood is thicker than water. But let me tell you something, toxic is toxic. Disrespect is disrespect. It doesn't matter if it comes from a stranger on the street or the people who raised you. If you allow people to treat you like a doormat, they will complain that you're not flat enough. I didn't destroy my family, I just stopped being their shield. If you are watching this and you are the one doing all the heavy lifting in your life, if you are the one being mocked, overlooked, or taken for granted, listen to me very carefully. Stop fighting for a seat at a table where you're the one paying for the food. Get up, walk away, build your own table. Let them call you the villain in their story. Let them post their videos. Let them talk behind your back. Your success, your peace of mind, and your unbothered happiness will be the loudest comeback you could ever deliver. Protect your peace. Enforce your boundaries, because the truth always comes out and karma never misses an address. Stay strong. See you in the next one.